Hello guys, welcome to yet another of our hobby chats. Keg Chat, I think it's the name we decided on, isn't it?
Keg Chats.
Yeah, why not? Welcome to another Keg Chat. It's like a fireside chat, but there's no fire. It's basically just us, for those of you who haven't watched one of these before, it's where we just bring you up to speed with all the stuff working on hobby-wise, what we've done since the last one, what we're excited about, and so on and so forth. If you are new here, hello, my name's Alex.
I'm Dan.
Yeah, we do also have Sophie, but she is in absentia today, so it's just us two.
Dying of flu.
Yeah, so we'll mock her a bit and that sort of thing. Usually there's three of us. That's basically the preamble, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What do we need to talk about? What's happened since the last one?
System by system, let's go. 40k.
Yes.
We went to a tournament.
We did go to a tournament.
A lot of us went to a tournament.
Yes. You, me, and half a dozen other friends, I think.
Yeah.
To the point we were seriously worried we might just end up playing each other anyway. But I think we actually got off quite lightly, didn't we? Because only one of us plays all we knew. But yes, that was Spring Tides in Bristol, hosted by Bristol Independent Gaming. 1750 points of very serious, very sweaty Warhammer. It wasn't sweaty. It was a.
Some people weren't sweaty.
Some people weren't sweaty. You played against a sweaty player, didn't you?
We got there, looked around, looked at all the. Everyone got their armies out. You know what, I wouldn't mind facing any of these except that one list. But you know, there's like 25 people here.
What's the odds?
What's the odds? First round. I've got the 6 Dreadnought Marine list.
Is it Iron Hands or
Black Templars?
Okay.
The Invuln.
Right. Okay. So their one weakness they just cancel out. Which I think that was actually your first loss for the Custodians in 40k ever?
Yes. With this edition.
Yeah.
This new rulebook. But yes, first loss. But it was a close loss. It was something like 89-70, something like that, or 79-60, something like that.
Nice.
Something around there.
And how did your other games go?
I faced Khorne Demons, which went really well. I somehow managed to get through all of them. Very slowly, but managed to chop through all of them. And then final game was versus something. Admech.
Okay.
I was against 60 Fulgurite Electro-Beasts, which Shadowkeepers are very good at stopping because it's like, you lose an attack.
Okay. And they go for high volume of model rather than attacks per model.
It looked a bit dangerous turn 1 when my Telemon got deleted by 6 Ballistari and Fury of Marsing Dune buggy thing.
Right.
But then I just
Turned it around,
went for everything. I just killed. There were 3 squads of 2 chickens, Dune Iron Striders.
Iron Strider Dragoons.
Yeah, there were 3 squads of 2, so I just killed one off of each, and basically, so it was never worth putting any strats on them, and each one was doing damage, but
Ballistari Iron Striders?
Something like that. And there was a big squad of breachers.
Dragoons. Carry on. Sorry.
And there's a big squad of breachers that I just chewed through slowly but surely. Basically, was keeping them just pinned on one flank with just throwing a squad of 3 Custodians at them and then throwing some other random crap at them. But yes.
So it went 2-1 overall?
2-1, and I think I came 7th or 6th or 7th. But from me to 2nd place, I think there was a total of 20 points out of 300.
It was a very close tournament with quite a few people getting high scores. I did alright. I was playing Chaos Knights, and in my first matchup went against Imperial Knights, which was interesting. I was playing against had a much better Imperial Knights list than my list. They had something like 8 or 9 armigers of different flavours. It took me apart. Night games often cannot be decided, but it's very important who goes first. He went first, and then I lost a big knight, and then lost another big knight, and it was over very quickly. I had lots of time to look at everyone else's armies. But yeah, bit of a kick in the teeth. But my follow-up 2 games were interesting for me because they were against Chaos Space Marines, who are my other army that I've been collecting dust for a while. But it was interesting playing against them and seeing what it's like being on the other side of the table. My second game, poor guy, was against a guy I think who was on his 6th game of 40k ever. Utterly fearless, going into a tournament with the start collecting box and a few other bits. And he took the kicking I gave him very well. Poor guy. No, he said he had fun, and it was an entertaining matchup, but it very much went my way. I played against Chaos Marines again for my third game, against Red Corsairs this time. Sorry, am I boring you?
No, I'm just...
And it was a closer game, but also managed to come away with a win. I think neither of them really had enough anti-tank to put down 3 big knights, 2 of which just doing psychic actions every turn. So, yeah, did really well. Went 2-1, same as you. I think I placed below you by a fair chunk, though.
Yeah, I think you had sort of 2... I had 2 quite strong victories and a close loss.
Whereas I had 2 strong victories and a stomping. So, quite a bit further down the rankings. But still, really happy with how it went. But enough about competitive stuff. Any hobby updates for 40k? Anything you've done
40K.
since the last one?
I've not done any 40k. I mean, I finished... I can't remember if we had this last time, but I finished the Custodes. So they've all got painted flamey spears
yes. They were white for a while, weren't they?
Yes, they're all white. And I was just like, I'm going to batch paint them all. I'm going to batch paint them all. I'm batch paint them all. I never got around to it. And eventually, now I've gotten around to it. And so they all have flamey, molten spears and swords and axes.
It's a really cool effect. It really, really works well.
I started on the axes, which put me off massively because they look awful on axes. Because axes are a pain to do because just the depth of them.
They're a weird shape, aren't they?
A weird shape. Whereas spears, it's really easy to get it going along it, and it works quite well. So Custodes are done. In somewhat similar news, or not quite similar, I've got knights.
Yes.
They're not finished.
No.
But I've started my knights now.
Yes.
So I've got one finished Moirax, who just needs a bit of weathering and finishing off his base. But I have a bunch more knights. I've got 3 big knights, 3 Questoris, a Dominus.
Yeah.
And
2 of each flavour of Armiger?
Yes. This is one of them. So there's 3 more Armigers that are built but need painting, finished painting. They've got their armour done, but the rest needs painting.
Okay.
Unbuilt box of Helverins. No, Armigers.
Okay.
Armigers.
Armiger Warblades, to give them their full name.
Yeah. And then I also have an unbuilt Knight Atropos.
Yes, which you got yesterday, I think.
Yes.
So, but that's going, from what I gather, pretty much straight to the front of the queue because it's cool?
No.
No?
No. There's stuff on the table at the moment. It's on the list. We'll get to the other stuff that's in the way.
Okay. Unfortunately, no 40k updates for me. I've had other stuff I'm working on, but we'll get to those in a moment. But I have been inspired 40k-wise recently because there is a new edition coming out. Very excited to play 10th edition. Everything I've read so far sounds cool. And even if it doesn't change things in the way I necessarily want the game to be changed, just a full rules reset and a brand new edition is really exciting. And will breathe new life into, hopefully, all of this and inspire me to play more stuff. I do have Vashdor. I did pick him up and split the rest of the box with a few friends. I've got him and a second Venom Crawler, so they'll be coming soon, and maybe even World Eaters when the new edition launches. We'll have to see. That light's just died. So yeah, that's coming eventually. I don't think Sophie's done any 40k lately.
No,
Not
she
that I
hasn't.
can recall.
Similarly, I'm excited for 10th edition because new NIDs.
Yes.
NIDs get new things. Maybe I want to play NIDs again because currently they are horrendously complicated. I cannot be bothered to figure them out.
And every time you try, you
Yeah.
get a balance data slide.
I try them and I'll love you. Oh, these are alright. And then by the next time I go to play them, the balance data states come out and I've got to try again. I'm like, oh, okay, no.
But again, a new edition should hopefully change that, and it sounds like it's going to be a lot simpler as well.
Yes.
So hopefully less shake-ups to how it works. As a subsection of 40k, we do have some terrain that I think we've mentioned before, but is very, very nearly done, honest.
Promise for the 8th time.
Which is our boarding action terrain. Because we decided, there's this really cool set of terrain we could get. Or we can make our own from scratch for the boards and paint a massive pile of MDF terrain. We can use it in Heresy as well. It's worth it, honest.
We could use the other one in Heresy.
No, the doors are too small. You can't get a contemptor through those.
Okay.
Anyways, the terrain itself is nearly done. That should actually be done by the next one of these on the channel fairly soon. And Dan, you found a recipe for these, didn't you? So these are homemade boarding action / Zone Mortalis / Necromunda, even possibly.
Boards.
Foam core boards, of which we have enough to do a full 4x4 table, which should look very cool when we get the terrain on them. They are disgusting. They're really horrible. They're covered in all sorts of grime and gunk and so on. But yeah, they're done. It's just the walls we need to finish off,
Which are mostly done.
I
Need to paint red on them.
You, me, and another friend are slaving away every Wednesday to get them finished.
Yes, it's just red to go, I think. And
Yes.
a little bit of steel.
And then just drown them in oil wash and call it a day.
Mm.
That, I think, covers 40k.
Yeah, we can lead that on to Heresy,
Yes.
because they've announced new books for Heresy, which include Zone Mortalis.
Yes. I was wondering, I thought you were pointing at the cow and thought, how is the cow relevant? No, Zone Mortalis rules for Heresy. That makes a lot more sense. It's almost like we planned it.
Some of us planned it.
Yes.
I thought ahead, you see.
I didn't.
Mm.
Because your base is actually on your mech. Yeah, that'll be a good fun. I love the idea of Zone Mortalis and scrappy infantry fights. Tanks are cool, but yeah, really keen to give that a go.
I need to figure out what exactly of mine is allowed in. I'm pretty sure Castellax are. I'm pretty sure most of my robots are, other than maybe Thanatars.
Does he have any like keywords or unit types the other ones don't, or is he just bigger?
Just bigger. I think it might be limited on wounds.
That would make sense. Yeah, they have a wounds limit.
But then I think he's 7 wounds, so he's not.
Can you take Leviathans in Zone Mortalis?
Don't know.
We'll find out when the book comes out.
Or I'll look at the rules that are currently out. They're in a White Dwarf or something. I don't know.
So yeah, we'll be definitely giving that a go, giving Zone Mortalis a go.
We've just filmed a game of Heresy.
We have just filmed a game of Heresy, in which I did not field the Space Wolves because they're not done. But I tried piloting your Custodians against your Admech and made your children fight each other. They're very cool. They're really cool. I kind of wish I had some of my own. I might have to get some of my own eventually. Yeah. First game of Heresy on the channel for me, so of course there are some hiccups, but I think it was a really good game, really close as well.
Yeah, it came down to having to count things after the game. Which
Yeah.
won't spoil how it ended, but
I think any game where you get to the end of turn 5 and go, okay, now we need to go and do some calculations because it's that close. That's mark of a good game. Hobby updates for Heresy?
I've got some new robots on the painting board at the moment for next. I've got another Thanatar, another 2 Domitars, and a new business Thanatar.
Why is he called a business Thanatar?
He's walking around with his little briefcase. By the time this video's up, I might have finished painting them, so you might get photos.
It's not actually a briefcase, it's like a pneumatic punch thing.
Graviton Ram.
Right. Except he holds it like this. It's a giant knuckle duster and it looks like a briefcase. Very cool. Very silly.
And obviously I've got the Knights that will be coming soon.
Yeah.
Which are not very good in Heresy.
No?
No.
Okay, so they are your I've won too many games in a row, the comments are telling me to be
But
nice to people.
I might, because I've got the Knight Atropos, I might bring the Knight Atropos, because you can take a Knight Atropos as a Lord of War for Mechanicum.
Cool.
And Moirax is a heavy support choice.
Yeah. Heresy for me, we're getting there. I've been saying it
Soon, TM.
months and months and months. Actually, most of the army is done for Space Wolves now. They just aren't. Not everything is ready to play on the channel. But I did finish my Spartan, which I'm very happy with.
It looks very cool.
Thank you. It actually it had a game yesterday where it didn't die in one shot.
Horrifying.
It was great. And I have, if you can see it on the camera, but I have lit up the insides, which I was very proud of as well. And now I've shown that I can now turn it off to save battery power. Yeah, really happy with how that came out. They are really fun to paint. My Varigear Terminators just need a little bit more on their metals and a few bits of red, and then they are finished. There's just some bases, and then we'll be ready for a 2,500 point game of Space Wolves. So coming soon. As for Sophie, she mentioned a Warhound. I assume she means a Titanicus one. So whatever.
Like that, yeah.
It's not fair, is it? Sophie has got... Has she mentioned it on the channel already?
I'm pretty sure.
She probably has. She's told everyone she knows. Anyone who asks. Many people who don't. She has a Warhound. It's big and stompy. There'll be some work in progress photos. God knows when it'll be done. But eventually, yes, she will have a Mortis Warhound with, I think, plasma and turbo laser ready for Heresy and maybe even 40k. Who knows? That's coming soon. Not a fan of the idea? No?
No. What's next?
I think that is 40k done. So you can take a nap for a bit while I talk about AOS.
Sweet.
Yep. So while Dan was not playing AOS, Sophie and I went to our local area to play an AOS tournament. That was at the Bristol Gaming Collective, as they go by now. They ran a fantastic event, really good fun. My first time playing AOS competitively and playing anyone other than Sophie and a couple other friends, so I thought I'd get destroyed. But I did really well, actually. Came away with, again, 2 wins and a loss. Finally got my Lumineth army working how I like it, so you'll be seeing some games of it on the channel now I have some idea how it works.
Right.
I finished 2 models for it just in time. My Enlightener, I think I finished about a week before. She's probably the best technically executed character I've done, I think, in just that every single element of her is done to a high standard. Nothing about her is exceptional, but yeah, happy how she came out. And there is my cow. My Battle of Cattle, my Pow Cow, my Spirit of the Mountain, I think is his actual name. And yeah, I'm really happy with how he came out. Didn't actually realize how big and imposing he was until I glued the top on.
Yeah, quite big.
Yeah. I thought he's about Dreadnought size, because when I was building him, I didn't have this part on. He's only staying about this tall.
And then you put the
And
head
only
on
when you actually glue on the head, whereas his shoulders add like an extra third of his height. Yeah, really nice centerpiece, and he made a horrible mess at the tournament. And on top of that, not on his own, I don't think, but I did win Best Painted for the tournament, which I was very happy with. So that goes on the shelf with the other ones. I'm allowed to be smug about it.
Okay.
He says defensively. Sophie has done a whole pile of Zinch. I couldn't tell you which ones they are. I don't know what they're called. But
Blue ones.
Yep. Well, they're green as well.
Red, but...
Well, yeah, you know how I struggle. She also went 2-1 in the tournament as well, so both of us came away having done quite nicely. So we will be seeing Zinch versus Lumineth games on the channel soon, and at time of recording, Battletome Blades of Khorne came out today, so Sophie will be chewing on that at home, I assume, and we'll be seeing Khorne versus Zinch. We'll do Khorne versus Lumineth. We'll probably do Khorne versus Zinch at some point as well. We'll borrow some other friends' armies. We'll get them on the channel to show you some more variety and show you what they can do with a new tome. You can start listening again.
Right.
Yeah, and anyway, it's done. Next, Titanicus? What's going on in the world of Titans?
I have a Warlord, a Reaver, and a Warbringer to be painted after the 4 bots are done.
Cool.
So those will be coming next month, hopefully.
Okay.
You've got a Direwolf?
I've got a Direwolf, a Reaver, just thinking War Master, at least you've done as well. More weapons than I have teeth.
Oh yeah, those 2.
Yeah, but I'm going to batch them at the same time as the Titans to get them all done. So, yeah, all of them will be Tempestus, and at that point I think I can draw a line. Oh, and 4 Cerastus Knights. And at that point I can draw a line under them and say that's my Tempestus done, and possibly look at
For now.
For now. Well, if they bring out another engine, then sure. But if they keep bringing out just more Warhound and Reaver weapons, I probably won't bother, because I've already got so many.
Speaking of Warhound and
That
Reaver
said,
weapons...
Conversion Beamers.
There's Conversion Beamers.
Are you intrigued?
Oh, very. Incredibly intrigued. I like a Sniper Hound, you see.
Yes, and this sounds like the mother of all Sniper Hounds. We thought the Grav was the Sniper Hound, but...
Grav and Conversion Beamer on a Hound.
I can't do anything about shields, but there aren't any shields. It's also just a way of saying I really don't care for knights.
Also, they look really cool.
They do look very cool. The Warhound one is massive. It's like twice the size, or twice the depth of any other Warhound gun. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do, because the article on Warcom was confusing. It sounds like they... How did it go again? They are strength 9, they can be pushed to strength 11... And they can have maximal fire on top, or something like that?
Possibly, something like that.
Either way, you're either looking at strength 11 or strength 13 cannon on a Warhound. Jesus Christ.
Victory. But, why can the Warbringer not take it? Why can't the Warbringer give me some
Because
Warbringer
Game
weapons?
Photoshop don't care about the
I want
Warbringer.
Reaver arms it can take, I want Carapace weapons it can take.
God, can you imagine if it had the Warlord's Conversion Beamer as a Carapace weapon?
That'd be so cool.
Or a Plasma, or any other Warlord Carapace weapon.
Giant wrecking ball.
Yeah. Fist.
Yes. Giant Ursa's Claw.
It could be the best melee Titan if it had a Warlord Claw on the roof, and then had a pair of Chain Fists.
Yes.
That's then more melee than any other Titan.
Which is better.
Yes. But since that's not the case, We might get some between the two of us, or between Sophie as well, for the other engines. I think Sophie has got... Yes, because I split a star set with her. She has 2 Warhounds and a Reaver to do. I don't know where they rank. Oh, and a Warmaster.
For the last nearly 2 years.
Indeed. And some nameplates, if we're pointing fingers. I don't know where they rank in her to-do list. But coming soon, TM. Anything else for Titanicus? You're getting emotional about the idea of Warbringers.
I yawned and now my eyes are just watering. We're going to an event. We're going to an event next month.
Yes.
First Strike at the Bristol Adventurers Guild. First Strike? Yes, First Strike. Yes, because Matt from Full Stride gets his own podcast name wrong constantly. So they've called it First Strike in honour of that.
Cool.
Rather than Full Stride.
Sounds good. Yes, I'll be going to that, you're going to that, Sophie might go to that, and I might see if I can get the Direwolf done in time for that, so that'll give me an incentive to get on with it.
I want the 3rd Reaver done so that I can run a full Ruptura.
You're not going to try the Ruptura...
That's 2,000 points.
Fair enough.
My next 2,000 point game, once I've got the Warbringer done, will be a Ruptura and an Arcus.
That's the one. So 3 Warbringers, even more Bringer than before Bringer. I think that brings us on to our last game, which is a Battlefleet Gothic.
Yes, possibly not the last game.
What do you know that I don't? I'll find out in a moment.
Yes, you will, once you finish Battlefleet Gothic.
Okay, well in our penultimate game to talk about then...
Bigly Fleet Gothic.
What on earth have I forgotten? It doesn't matter, you'll tell me in a second.
Yeah, you'll find out, stop thinking about it.
Okay, but it's now they make... No.
Don't question
Battlefleet Gothic. I've painted a few more ships. I have recently finished a pair of Grand Cruisers for my World Eaters.
How grand.
Can't remember what they're called, I haven't labelled their bases.
Derek and Jeremy.
Sure, Derek and Jeremy class Grand Cruiser. And a couple of regular cruisers as well. So I've got everything now, pretty much. I can run any fleet I can be bothered to run. So it might be time to look for a new one soon. Dan, you are...
waiting for my orcs to appear.
Yeah, you just sent a nagging text, I think.
A subtle hint.
Yes. They're getting steadily less subtle. Why can't this friend who 3D prints for us for free remember to do it?
I pay for the resin.
Well, yeah, I suppose. But yes, you'll have an orcs fleet soon.
Yes.
They'll definitely print absolutely fine.
Don't. It's fine. Any misprints look like
actually, if all the fleets were to fail, other than maybe Tyranids, you're fine.
And I've got a bag of misprints to jam together for a Hulk.
Yeah. Which is going to be just this giant space potato. So what's this other game that I've forgotten about? Or are you just winding me up?
It's Drop Fleet Commander. Drop Zone Commander, even.
Drop Zone Commander, of course.
How could you forget?
I haven't gotten it yet, and they're very small. Go on then, give the sales pitch. What is Drop Zone Commander for people that only play Warhammer?
It's like Epic Warhammer, so it's very small little people that are like
6mm scale.
Little people that are like just like the size of your like little fingernail.
Yep.
Absolutely tiny little people, and then you get like transports for them. You get drop carriers to drop them in. You get behemoths that are for some reason about this big.
It's a proper combined arms game, isn't it? So
yes.
Again, on the scale of Epic, but the thing that grabbed us when we were looking at it in the shop and then went, yeah, okay, let's do this, was the idea of how transports work, that you transporting your vehicles in from, because everything arrives from the sky, and then transporting in your infantry and APCs and so on is a major part of the game.
It's like Russian dolls of just getting smaller and slower.
Yes.
But more effective at actually fighting.
It looks really cool. The barrier of entry is somewhere down here.
Starter sets are like £40, £50 or something like that.
Coming from Warhammer, it looks very cheap.
But we went to a local gaming store and we're just, gaming doesn't start for another half an hour, so we'll just wander around the shop.
Very dangerous.
And we'll start looking at Drop Fleet Commander and Drop Zone Commander, and it's like, oh, this looks pretty cool. And then when the staff came over, I was like, oh, can I help you guys? It's like, no, we're just looking. And he's like, oh, I really like this game, and gave us a 10-minute sales pitch, and all of us were just like, no, please stop talking. It sounds so good. And there's Drop Zone Commander, which is the epic one, or you've got Drop Fleet, which is kind of like Battlefleet Gothic, but quite different.
Yeah.
But the games can interlink, so you can kind of run 2 simultaneous games where...
That's the fattest bumblebee I've ever seen.
Jesus. Barely fly.
Yeah. It didn't. It flew into the window and bounced off.
Yeah, he's just stuck on the floor. Jeez. Right.
Anyway, sorry. Go on, focus.
Good lord. But yes, they are very pretty ships.
Yeah. Won't take long to paint.
Everyone has almost already decided in our group what they're getting.
Yeah.
I'm going Post-human resistance?
Post-human republic.
That's what I said.
Not the resistance.
Post-human resist republic.
Yes. I think the pitch we're given for them is they are humanity, but sponsored by Apple.
Yes, it's future us, but Apple.
Yeah. All your spaceships are wonderfully smooth, curved things.
Frames.
You've got mechs. Everything costs 5 times the points anyone else pays.
But they're really good.
Yeah, they're basically custodians again.
Mm.
And I'm going to go for the UCM, the United...
Corps of Marines?
Maybe? United Confederation of Mankind? I don't know. UCM. They are basically the normal humans from Halo.
The Jarhead Marines that...
Hoorah.
Several of their spaceships are... One of their spaceships is literally just a flying gun.
Yes.
With more guns attached.
It literally has a trigger hanging down from... or a pistol grip hanging down from it. They look cool. They look fun. They look simple. And again, they'll take no time to paint because they're that long. So I've said I'm not going to touch them until after my upcoming AOS tournament at the end of this month. But then after that, I'll probably buy myself either as a consolation prize or a victory prize the starter box for the UCM.
Mm.
So, and then we'll get them painted soon. Terrain-wise, all of that was actually made for Drop Zone, I believe.
Yes.
So
we've got lots of buildings and destroyed buildings, so we can swap them.
You can blow up buildings. It's so cool. Really looking forward to trying it. We'll probably bully Sophie into getting one as well, and if that doesn't work, then we'll just buy the other ones because they're so cheap. May as well buy the other armies too.
And you can learn along with us.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's at least 3 people out there that play it, and they can tell us what we did wrong.
Yep. The trick is to get the rules wrong, so then we get the engagement from both the other players.
Mm.
Yes. So yeah,
that's what we did for Battlefleet Gothic, and it worked.
It did. It worked really well. Some of our most commented on videos are, you guys are doing this wrong.
And this wrong.
Yes.
And this wrong.
You're clearly enthusiastic, but you're also clearly idiots.
Have you read the rules? Oh, no.
Purely vibes-based channel.
I told you guys to tell me that. I told you to tell me the rules.
I did. Told you what I thought the rules were.
Yeah, they were wrong so many times. So many times.
We're getting there. We're still chasing that platonic ideal of the
faultless,
the flawless Battlefleet Gothic game.
Although maybe the one we put up recently, I don't know if there's any.
No, there were mistakes.
Were there? What was that?
I did some of the... For starters, I had about 3 times the ordnance I had. Like some of the markers where they were, say, here's a squadron of fighters, they're meant to be 3 rolls per marker, and each roll is D3 squadrons. So we'll call it a draw retrospectively, and...
No,
all right,
we won't.
Fair enough. If I get rules wrong, that's my fault.
Mm.
But yes, I think that covers all our games. So 40k, we're excited for boarding action, and we will be very keen to get into 10th, hitting the ground running. 30k, Space Wolves coming soon, Knights coming soon.
More mech coming soon.
More mech coming soon. Warhound coming soon.
There will be a heresy report of Custodes versus mech next week.
Indeed.
From this video.
Yep.
From time of video going live.
Yes.
It's already happened a week before this video is going live.
When you're watching it, we've already done it. We've also already done it at the time of recording. Age of Sigmar. Again, we've got some units to show off. Sophie has 2, and we'll throw some different armies together soon as well to show you some more variety.
AOS news, I'm selling my Crawl Boys.
That is news. You're finally ripping off the blaster.
Yeah, I was keeping them like, oh, maybe I'll do it, maybe I'll do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do Crawl Boys.
When you put it up, I thought, oh, maybe I could buy them off you. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do them either.
Are you sure you don't want to buy some Crawl Boys?
I'm sure.
I mean, some are cheap.
I'm sure.
Oh.
Unless you're giving them to me, and even then, I might have to charge you for the space they'll take up.
Okay.
So, no thank you. But I appreciate the offer. Titanicus, more big robots of various flavours coming soon, and maybe some tournament practice.
Hooray for conversion beamers.
Yes, conversion beamers. Battlefleet Gothic, new ships, new fleet, tournament practice, match play missions. Give us feedback if you follow Battlefleet Gothic, and Drop Zone Commander coming to a channel near you soon. I think that's it.
If you enjoyed, comment,
yes.
like, subscribe, etc. We have Composite Games link in the description, which is, if you buy stuff from there, you'll get a discount with our code.
Yes.
Very cool.
And you also help the channel.
Yes, you also help us out, because they feed it back to us.
Yeah.
We have a Patreon. We have Buy Me a Coffee.
Yep.
There is still nothing on the Patreon because we don't have the time currently.
There is the feeling of doing a good thing.
Yes.
Which honestly I think is priceless.
Or about £5.
Or about £5, or whatever you can spare, or whatever you want to give us, to be honest. That's it. That's all of the post-chat sales pitches, I think.
Mandatory.
Yep. So thank you for watching. See you again soon. Bye.